So, Bridget, I thank you for jumping in here. I know, Bridget, we've talked obviously a lot as the time has gone by. How about you just share a little bit about, um, especially in the incubation stages of, building bridges and beautiful girls, and what your initial hurdles and challenges were that you kind of ran into?
Well, of course, as you said, I have a mentor program, building bridges, and then a beautiful girls, where I mentor teen girls ages 12 through 18. And when I birthed this project, I held on to it for a little while, because of fear. I had the logo. God had given me the vision. And I just held on to it because I was comparing what God had told me to do with what other people were doing. So that was my challenge, is looking at other programs, looking at what they were doing, saying, "Oh, well, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know that many people. I'm not really well known in the community. They have so many girls, so many, children that they're mentoring. I don't even know that many in my area. How do I get those?" And they're well known in the community, so they're able to collaborate with other community leaders. And I don't know those community leaders, so I just started to compare what God had told me to do, my purpose, with other people's purpose, and that was my downfall. Just holding on to it when I could have birthed it probably 3 years prior to when it actually rolled out, and just did what God had told me to do with this program. And then when I did do it, I still continued to look over at the other side and look and see what other people were doing. And of course, when you look over, when you're like the analogy, when you're running track, if you're looking at the other component, your opponent, you are going to fall, you're going to trip. If you look back to where you came from, you're going to run into something. So that's exactly what I was doing, comparing what other people were doing, looking back at where I started, trying to gauge if I'm even coming close enough to where I can really be successful in this, and all the wrong things. And it was a stinking thinking kind of thing. And so when I finally realized this is what I was self-sabotaging, like Chris was saying, I started to just step back for a moment and then regain my focus and my why. Like, why are you doing this? Are you doing this to compete with other programs? Are you doing this to be like other programs? Why are you doing this? When I did that, and when became very conscious in that, it brought on a new meaning for my program, and I just started to move forward. So I just started again. I started again, and that was very helpful for me. And so since then, I've just been kind of tunnel vision on what exactly God has told me to do with my program, and I don't look around to engage what everybody else is doing.
Yep, that's excellent. There's a comment from Kathleen, and she says, too much old information, thinking goals, all this stuff is coming in, and it goes back to even what Chris was saying about, you got this team of people who have experience, and they're hitting you with all this information. And she says the technique she uses to parking lot it all, and then take out of the parking lot the things that really are relevant at that point in time. So that's another skill that you can also use to try to do when you're doing that, is definitely take it in because it's all valuable, but don't take it and try to hold it all in here. Put it somewhere and then pull the pieces as you need it.
Yes,
that's
Kathleen.
overwhelming. That's very overwhelming.
Kathleen's actually a friend of mine, and we work together at the law department. So I know from experience that we both use that technique. My problem is that my parking lot ends up looking like an amusement park, just full. No cars moving, nobody going anywhere, just half an idea everywhere. I have notebooks full now of wonderful ideas that my daughter is going to get to read when she gets my estate. But it is good to hold them somewhere, though, and I think electronically now we can even do that much easier. And I do appreciate the fact that I now can come back to things now that I'm actually trying to find my own voice, and I can actually give some life to those ideas. So it's a good thing. I think she gives good advice to just put it down someplace and then come back to it.
Well, if I can interject for a hot second, the other thing about that, you talk about this parking lot thing, and actually that whole parking lot, I remember, Brian, when we worked at Sprint, that was one of our things, the parking lot. The other thing is just being able to pull pieces forward as they're needed. You know what I mean? Because you're going to start, once you start, the picture starts to become a little less cloudy, what you're trying to accomplish. And if because I always say progress isn't measured in inches; it's measured in progress. So, so as you start to, because progress is measurable, but on the other hand of it is some of it's feel. So when you start to feel that you're having some progress, you're okay. I got X, X, and X pretty much on the road. Now I need to pull X, X, and X forward so I can start to incorporate those other pieces, because pretty soon it's like a juggler. You know, you get more balls, right? And the whole idea is it's creating a comfort level that you can operate, and building also what I like to say is building momentum towards your project. And that's huge. I think that is such an underrated thing. We all have kids. So, I mean, I got a grown daughter too. And I'm like, I preach on her. Progress is not measured in inches. It's measured in progress, damn it. You know what I mean? She's like, what does that mean? I was like, just keep listening and keep doing what I'm trying to tell you to do. And you're going to, all of a sudden, you're going to catch the wave one day. And it'll be like, whoa, where did that come from? You were right.
Yeah.
You just have to trust and believe.
Yeah, absolutely.